All right, all right, all right. Good evening. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Money Game, so Black people can win and dominate. I am your host, Brother Daryl Muhammad, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. Brothers and sisters, we are so excited you decided to be with us this evening, but we want you to definitely share this stream. Share this stream somewhere on the platform that you're watching us. You can share it because we want to come to you today and share with you what we've learned, what I've learned over the past 40 plus years of this thing called money, right? But we want you to be able to take some practical application. This is not a monologue, this is a dialogue. So we definitely want you to share this stream, but also put some comments below. What do you think about what we're going to talk about tonight, right? What is this so Black people can win and dominate? I got the money game part, Daryl, but what is this so Black people can win and dominate? Well, I'm so glad you asked that question. This show is based on a concept or ideas that is in my book, The Money Game, so Black people can win and dominate. Brothers and sisters, if you don't have this book, do yourself and your family a favor and purchase this book. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to a special website. Let me put it on the screen. I want you to go to this website right there. Claim 2 free gifts by going to that website, themoneygamebook.com. As soon as you put in your name and email address, you go to a page where you get your download of your audio. Free audio, talks about the money game concept, idea. What do I mean when I say the money game? And then here in the next week or two, maybe 3 weeks, we'll see. We're right there on the cusp, if you will. The second free gift is a live Zoom with myself and you. Just those who have subscribed to that website. You don't even have to buy the book. You subscribe, you'll be invited to a special, private, elusive, exclusive Zoom where we can talk about the book. We can talk about the concepts. We can talk about the ideas. Because I can guarantee you, brothers and sisters, this book is not like any other book that you've ever read about money. I can guarantee you that. This book is written specifically for Black people so we can win and dominate. Not to get cars, even though that's good. Not to get houses, big houses, even though that's good. But you don't need to win and dominate on a large scale to get those things, right? So you go to that website, you get on the list. Once we reach 100 subscribers, and we're very close, but this is we're 11 subscribers away. So if you have not subscribed, write that down, themoneygamebook.com. After the show, go and subscribe. And if you have subscribed, thank you. And tell somebody else. Not just tell them, to ask them and insist that they go and sign on to that, subscribe to that list, get the free audio, and then on that second page, you'll have the opportunity to buy the book, all right? And that way, if you do it this way, then now you and I are in direct communication. I have your information. I can send out periodicals or emails on a periodic basis so we can stay connected. When you get this book, you'll learn what it takes, the many intricate pieces that makes up what it takes to win and dominate at the money game. And one of it is connection, our unity. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said our unity is more powerful than a nuclear atomic bomb. When are we going to try that? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said 90% of our problems can be resolved with unity. Try everything else. Try unity. That's the final thing that we have to be able to do and implement. And we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about freedom and financial freedom. See, when I was coming up, when I was a little shorty, if you will, when I first got on to this type of information, got in this space, it was in 1980. I used to stay up on Saturdays and watch all those infomercials on real estate, Tom Vu, Carlton Sheets, you name them, Ed Beckley, Albert Lowry. I can name some that you haven't even never heard of before. Right? Ron LeGrand. And I used to just watch in amazement. I said, wow, you could really buy money with buy houses with no money down. I didn't have a cynical mindset. See, when you're young, you're not as suspicious of everything. See, when you're young, you're more open to believe everything. So I was like 16 years old, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, man, that's what I want to do. And God bless me. That's what I end up doing. That's what I do today, real estate investing. But what I want to tell you is that back in those days, yeah, it was the flashy. It's always going to be, in America's always going to be the boats and the girls and the money. But it's the language. It's the language that they were using back then, brothers and sisters. It was financial freedom. Financial freedom. It wasn't like social media. It didn't have social media, right? So social media magnifies things. It was just infomercials on TV, right? So now it's get the bag and dripping everywhere and, all these superficial things. I mean, to a higher degree. Now, like I say, it was back in those days, but a higher degree due to social media. So that's what brainwashes us. That hits us in a million different ways, and that's the dominant message. So we think, okay, then that's what it is. I can get those things. I can get those things. I can have that big house, and but you can have those things and don't be free. You can have those things and don't be financially free. See, brothers and sisters, us as Black people, our goal should be freedom. When you're a slave, your goal is freedom. When we were in bondage, our goal was freedom for those that wanted to be free. So we were told, if you do this, you'll gain your freedom. So we did that. They said, if you did this, you'll gain your freedom. We did that. So in my book, on page 49, chapter 6, Freedom and Financial Freedom. There's about 6 sections in there, giving you little antidotes. Something, little hit upside the head, a drip, a constant drip of water on a stone will eventually wear the stone away. See, we're looking for these big grandiose things. Oh, in order to accomplish a big goal, it has to be hard. It has to be difficult. You have to be smart. You got to be connected. Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff is true, but the thing is, it's the little things. I talk about another program that I'm going to release here pretty soon called the 19 Secrets. It's the little things. Right? Our enemy says that the devil's in the details. The freedom is in the detail. Or that is true. The devil is in the details. When you get into the details, then you can see the devil. You see who is the devil. Financially, right? You get into the details of your expenses and your monthly expenses and where every dollar and every dime is going bi-weekly and on a monthly basis. Then you find the devil that's robbing you of your dimes and nickels, because there's not a lot of money. It's Amazon Prime here. It's Netflix here. It's Hulu there. See, it's just 5 and 10s. 5 and 10s. You don't see those going. 5 and 10s. So, brothers and sisters, freedom. Make your focus on freedom. And freedom, there's different levels of freedom. Different requirements of freedom. What does freedom mean to you, brothers and sisters? What does freedom mean to you? Financially, is that 100,000? Oh, 100,000. Just pull that number out of nowhere. Okay, well, now break that down. Get into the details, right? How much food, how much clothing, how much shelter, how much, all your expenses, utilities. And what about recreation? All work and no play make Jack a dull boy, Jane a dull girl. Who wants that? Life is supposed to be exciting. Life is what you make it. If it's not exciting, you're not making it exciting. Right? So freedom, financial freedom, let that dominate your mind. You have the freedom of choice. Stop letting people bully you. Herd mentality. I talk about this in the book. Sheeples. Sheep, part people. Sheeples. If you know anything about a sheep, whoever's in front leading it, it'll follow it no matter where it goes, because it's a herd animal. right? It's a herd animal. Brother says this book is not like any other book. I'm telling you, it hits a lot of myths, misconceptions, things that's locking our brains out of what we need to understand about money. Even what you know about money, we can get better results than what we're getting. Why? Because we have these locks on our brain, misinformation, falseness, outright lies about things. See, what we don't understand, brothers and sisters, it's the mind that has to be freed first. It's the mind. What did T. Harv Eker call it? Your money mental blueprint. Your mind. How much is enough money for you? Based on not what you say, but deep down in the back of your mind. Oh man, when you tell yourself, man, if I can just catch up, if I can just pay off this credit card bill, I'll be good. See, it says, so Black people can win and dominate. More of us need to win. More of us need to dominate. The few that's winning and few that's dominating is not enough for it to have a ripple effect throughout our community. It's not enough of us who have consciousness, Black consciousness, and money. See, once you understand this game that's being played, they never want money and consciousness to come together. So anything your enemy doesn't want, you should want just by default. You figure out why you want it later. Figure out why you want it later. So find freedom, financial freedom. They go together. You can't be financially free and then be a slave to ideas and concepts and beliefs. And you can't be free from false ideas, false concepts, and then you broke. For those of us who know, that's an oxymoron. You have to have some level of freedom mentally to get financial freedom. And in order to get financial freedom, you first got to free your mind of false concepts and ideas about money. You may not say money is the root of all evil. What does our actions show? Why aren't you and I trying to be able to generate $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year in income? I don't need that much. See, because you're missing the point. It's not about you. It's about us. So, brothers and sisters, get that free gift. Go to themoneygamebook.com. Get on the list, because we're gonna have more of these calls. These are just, introduction type of programs. This show is just so we can get to know each other. Right? So we can connect. So you can see if this resonates, this message, my spirit resonates with your spirit. See, that's really who you should connect with. People who their message, their personality, their character, their demeanor resonates with your spirit. See, we're going to get more into that in our private calls and private programs. This is just a filtering process. So you can kick the tire and we can kick the tire and we can see if we're a good fit for each other. So the value of you getting on this list is that we be able to go in more deeply or deeper into these ideas and concepts, and we can really break them down. So you can see what's the practical application in your life. Because if you can't apply it to your life, then this sounds good. You sound smart. But we got to implement these things, brothers and sisters. We got to implement these things. Share this stream. Share. We're not going to be long. We usually have our courage coach with us, your courage coach, Brother Asad Muhammad. You know him. You've seen him before. But he's out traveling. He might get on a little bit later. If not, we'll keep it short and sweet. We'll keep it short and sweet. I heard a saying many, many years ago. A wise man makes complicated things simple, right? In a complicated mind makes simple things hard. Right? Break it down, make it real, granular. For those of us in the Nation of Islam, we have the Supreme Wisdom book. It's about this thick. because God doesn't have to say a whole lot of words. They say a wise man speaks in brevity, very, very short words, minimal words, just enough to convey a message, just enough to whereas now you have something to go study. Every word is pregnant, right? It's like a kernel of corn. Every kernel of corn has all these ears in it, or kernels in it, ears of corn, kernels, whatever it is, right? In one, many in one. So it's a deeper meaning in each word. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you something. I've learned this over, like I said, since 1980. You do the math, right? You do the math. It's 44 years that I've been wrestling. I got books on top of books on top of books, because I know that this is the last thing that we as Black people in America, children of ex-slaves, this is the last thing we got to get our minds around and understand, not just getting the money, but what do we do to win and dominate? What are others doing to win and dominate? They're not drinking the Kool-Aid. They're not following the herd. That's why you don't see them, many of them, most of them on social media, because they know that the common person cannot relate. And why? They don't need that smoke. What they need that smoke for? They multi-millionaires. They just give it their friends, right? And the friends' children, and put them on, and so on and so on and so forth. But we don't have that luxury as Black people in America. We don't have that luxury. There's not enough of us reaching down. So the few of us that know, we have to get on these platforms and holler from the top of the mountain. Come see what I see. And then you'll have to do your own discovery. So coming out of chapter 6 of this book, my book, freedom and financial freedom, brothers and sisters, they go together. You can't have one without the other. You can't have, money is not financial freedom. Money is money. Money is money. Financial freedom. You're financially free of financial worries. Financially free of financial worries. Now, how much money is that? We really don't know. It's a whole lot more if you get sick and you need medical care than it is if you're not sick and need medical care. It's a different number if you have to rent for the rest of your life versus paid off house and just have to pay the property tax. That's why you have to understand. You have to sit down and say, okay, what does financial freedom mean to me? What does it look like to me? And I believe what Daryl is saying, and I see what he's saying, and I understand, and I'm in agreement that I have to be freed up here. My focus has to be freedom. But what does that mean? That means I have to study, learn, mimic, be taught by, be coached by, right? Have mentors who have the freedom of mind that can show me, what does a free mind look like? What does a free mind look like? How does a free-minded person move? How do they act? What's their position in things? What's their position in life? What's their position about money? What's their position about voting? What is their idea? Give me something to consider, something to think about. We have to use our own intelligence, brothers and sisters, because you can't say just because somebody got a lot of money that they think that you should mimic the way that they think, or you should follow their lead. That's why I said a few minutes ago, let it resonate with your spirit. Let it resonate with the God within. Let it resonate with the God within you. The God within you to say, yeah, I'm just not feeling that brother. I'm not feeling that person. I'm not feeling her. I'm not feeling him. You see, you can't put your hands on it, But the Spirit of God will tell you. You might not ever find out if that was true or not. You may not ever find out, oh, he was a crook, she was a crook, oh, whatever. You might not ever find that out. But you're practicing, you're learning what it means to be free, mentally free. You're free enough to choose that you're going to follow the God-given intuition in your body, in your spirit. You're free enough to know that I don't have nothing concrete, but something, the vibration just is something. It's something. But then you have to add some intelligence to it. Right? Because then you don't pick somebody because they feel good in your spirit, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's why, see, it goes together. Freedom, financial freedom. Freedom, financial freedom. We'll get more into this on the call. We'll get more into this in the private programs. Right? There's no way that you can cover everything you need as an individual. I need as an individual, as far as our understanding of the money game, in order to win and dominate. We just need ideas right now. We need concepts right now. We need to have somebody take the lid off of our thinking. That's so you can go vertically. That's so you can rise up above your previous thinking into the stratosphere, into the sky. You ain't got there yet. You don't even know how to get there yet. But at least the roof has been taken off. The lid has been taken off, or it's starting to be taken off. To where now you can see the skyline now. You can see the clouds now. That's what my book is all about, because you're not going to get it in 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, no matter who writes it. But if we can understand how to think, there's an audio, you should find it, and I'll give it to those who request it. But there's a audio called The Stranger's Secret by Earl Nightingale. He interviewed some guy, some great, psychiatrist or whatever, whoever he was, and asked him, he said, with all these advancements at the time, back in the 50s or whatever it was, right? With all the advancements that we have in society today, what is the matter with man that he or she just doesn't take care of that? He or she is not as advanced as possible. He said the problem with man is that man just doesn't think. Wow. He just doesn't think. So the objective is to learn how to think. And my experience has been that comes from understanding the freedom of choice. Choosing what to think. Choosing how to think. So, brothers and sisters, we want to make sure we take care of the business at hand. It's kind of hard to talk about money, right? And don't talk about money. We are thankful to Closing the Gap broadcast for allowing us to come on their platform to bring you this message. Brother James and Brother Minister James, Brother Minister Chad and Sister has thought enough about us to invite us, invite me, invite you. Because you on this platform, here with me. So we're here together on this platform. So we want to make sure that we show some love. I learned many, many years ago, it's hard to receive more when your hand is clenched up like this. I've learned over the years, whatever it is that you want more of, that's the very thing you have to release and let go. So you see at the bottom of the screen, make a donation to this show and make a donation to Closing the Gap. I say split it 50-50. Split it 50-50. Closing the Gap right there, and then let us put up ours. Let's see here. Let me just show you that. Okay, so that's Cash App for the Money Game Show. Cash App $ TMG Show. TMG Show. Okay, that is that one. And then here's Closing the Gap. There it is right there, brothers and sisters. Split it. One thing that I learned many, many years ago. You can go to the tallest mountain, Mount Everest, have the biggest speakers in the world in a mic. When you were talking about money now, we're talking about money. You can holler from the tallest mountain. Unless you put your money where your mouth is, not the microphone, put your money where your mouth is. You say something, but don't put your money where your mouth is. But once you put your money where your mouth is, then people can hear you in an economic environment, in a financial environment. Those that have financial ears, they don't hear nothing other than financial. So you can't be about that life, not understanding, brothers and sisters, that you're going to have to release the money in order to get, so you got to have freedom of mind, freedom of worry that if I release it, am I going to get it back? Oh, I done lost money before in different programs. I done gave before. See, that's not freedom. That's being a prisoner. That's being a prisoner. Right? Yeah, there's some realities. Of course, there's some realities. But we're talking about the thought. We got to kill the thought in our minds. And that comes from repetition. That comes from practice. You just say, okay, I'm not going to think that anymore, and it's just to disappear. It's like roots of a tree that's gone down into your subconscious mind. You can't trim that tree. You can't trim the branches. You got to pull it up from the root. And that takes a whole lot more energy, time, and effort and expertise to pull up the false money concept roots that's in our brains that's stopping us from even having the desire. Even having the desire. Now, I don't want all that money because, see, you get all that money, you ain't going to know who your friends are. See, that's a falsehood. That's a lie that's in your conscience that stop you from living. As I say it in my book, I call it your God-given financial potential. What? I ain't never heard all of that before. Your God-given financial potential. What do you mean, Brother Daryl? God might have, how do I know what God has in store for me financially? Is it just the desire that I have? How do I know this is the biggest house that God wants me to have? Because that's the desire that I have? You only know if you try to get, you know what I'm saying? It's not getting to get, but just it's about growth. It's about to see how much can you command into your reality? How much can you manifest into your world? You can always release it back out into society, which you should do. Just because you make $1 million don't mean you have to spend $1 million. You can make $1 million and give away 800,000. So if you don't want it, get it and give it away. But you'll never get it if you don't want it. See, it's the freedom of the mind. We have to seek freedom, then finances. Freedom, then finance. We seek the financial we're not concerned about the freedom. Just as long as I just want to get these bills paid down. See, what about the freedom part? I ain't even thought about the freedom part. And then if we don't think about the freedom part, then we end up being a slave for money. Either you're going to be a slave for money or money going to be a slave for you. There's only two realities. But it comes from understanding what does freedom mean in all areas of life? What does freedom mean? And then financial freedom. And brothers and sisters, we've been in America too long for us not to understand these basic things. But it's not your fault. It's not my fault. But it is your responsibility to know. It is my responsibility to know. My job is to prick your conscience so you say, oh my goodness, really? Ooh, we never heard that before. And you go do your due diligence. You go do some research, and then you see where God directs you. What information, what people. See, that's what freedom's all about. You're not going there because somebody else says go there. Don't go there because somebody else say you shouldn't go there. That's not freedom. You being controlled by somebody else. People are free. Don't let other people tell them what to do if that's not what they want to do. They just robbed them of their choice. So, brothers and sisters, I mean, if you're going to be about this life, and see, let me just say this. See, that's why so few, one of the reasons why so few people have. The reason why so few people have is because there's so few of us, or there's too many of us who don't want it. Did you get that? The reason why there's so few people who have an abundance is because not enough of us are trying to get our share. And when you know and understand, you know that there's enough for everybody. If it comes from God, God has no limitations. There is no scarcity when God is concerned. See, that's freedom. That's freedom. That's freedom. Just because you don't have it don't mean it don't exist. Just because it's hard for you to get don't mean it doesn't exist. See, if you think this book is about crypto and AI and real estate and Forex, and see, you trying to get way up there in the stratosphere, and we haven't dealt with the devil on the ground. But you trying to deal with the devil in the sky. You haven't dealt with the devil on the ground, the devil in our minds. See, so if anybody want to free you or you know, help you to be financially successful, but don't point you in the direction that you got to deal with your mind, they're not telling you the full story. And I've learned, brothers and sisters, that's the biggest challenge. That's the biggest challenge. Most of us trying to do the least to get the most. I want to increase my income by 100,000. Right? The question should be, what are you willing to give up to get the 100,000? I just want to give up just a little bit. But you want to double your income? What happens if you had to give up a lot to double your income? Oh, well, no. What happens if you had to give up whatever you like, whatever you spend time that can go towards somewhere else? Watching TV, going to the movies, going out to eat, let alone clubbing and partying and drinking and watching the football games and going to football parties, and you bring enough wings for 100 people. And you know what I'm saying? Are you willing to cut out all of that? God forbid you scratching tickets. Are you willing to just strip all of that unnecessary stuff for a year, 2 years, 3 years to blow up? See, if somebody told you, you'd be like, gotta be easier way. But if that was the only way, would you do it? See, that's the mind again, freedom of the mind. When you say yes and actually do it, now you're in contention. And the bigger your financial aspiration is, brothers and sisters, just know the more you'll have to give up. And what you're giving up is those things that's holding you back. You're giving it up to become. You're not just giving it up not to have it, and then that's your new baseline. No. You're giving it up so now you can replace it with things that are very, very meaningful, very, very beneficial to you. For instance, to give to Closing the Gap. If you got $20, give them 10, give us 10. That's us right there. Because, you know, as we progress, this is episode 10, we start getting into further episodes, we're going to start dealing with this money thing, right? We're going to start, you know, making sure that you understand these money ideas, money concept that breaks the mental chains that's stopping you and I from flipping the switch, going to the next level financially. See, God's not concerned about how much you give. He's trying to see if you understand the spirit of giving. He wants to see if you understand what to give to. Some things, oh no, I can have $1 million. Some things you're not getting my money. Other things I can be down to my last whatever. And I'm gonna be, man, I need to give something. I need to do something. That's what we have to understand. We're the most spiritual people on the planet. We got to learn how to leverage that. We're the only people on the planet in the history of the annals, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, that been through the suffering, the torture that we've been to on such a mass scale. Not no 4-5 people over here, they've been treated like us. We're talking about millions of people for 310 years and counting. And as I say on the back of the book, we got to be like the Jewish people. Use our unique suffering to empower ourselves, empower our people, and get help from around the world. Because they know that that was a bad treatment and they want to be blessed by God by helping us. See, though these are the nuggets that's linchpins, if you will, that we need to find and we need to pull them so we can release the power and the force that we're going to need in order to learn the money game, win the money game, and dominate the money game and teach it to whoever would listen, our babies, whoever would listen in our community. That's what myself and Courage Coach has committed to do. And sharing, this episode, this show not going to be very long. I mean, we're not going to have too many episodes. We're going to have just enough to do what we got to do and bring value. The Courage Coach, he was a co-host of mine on a show that we did every Sunday called Black Wealth Empowerment. Go to YouTube, you'll find them. We did over 100. We did 154 episodes. Black Wealth Empowerment, the same concept, the same ideas. And that show ended about 4 years ago. Started with Brother Jesse, Brother Kiam, Abdul Kiam, right? Formerly Brother Jesse, right? So we got a purpose now. We coming, to make sure we find who we looking for, unite with them, pull them out of the social media universe where you are. Facebook, I see you. YouTube, I see you. Pull you out. Just do this thing over here. Why? Because the Courage Coach and I have studied and learned from the best of the best of the best. That's what they do. They start with the general and get very down to the few. The few always dominate the many. We just need more of us dominating our community, right? And we need the right minds and stop selling out for the money, because you don't have to sell out for the money. When you add freedom and financial freedom together, is worth a whole lot more than what a billionaire or multimillionaire would have who's a slave, right? The Democratic Party pull their coattail and tell them, okay, now you need to go and tell the people to vote. But they superstars and they make millions of dollars. I'd rather have substantially less and be free enough to say, you know what? I don't have to do what you say. That's funny how we had that attitude when we was young, right? But didn't have the maturity or the wherewithal to exercise that. But when we get older, should take that position of freedom. We don't. Because you're still dependent on somebody, just not your parents. Freedom, you know what I'm saying? Can't be dependent and free at the same time. Right? And we're going to get more into that into our private meetings. Because our meetings are private meetings. It's called private because they're not open to the public. We won't have a sifting process. Right? The Bible says, whatever one or two are gathered together, so am I. Wherever 3 or 4 or 5 are gathered together, so is the devil. So is the devil. Right? You, somebody else, there's God. If the bigger the numbers get, the devil is in there somewhere. Your enemy is in there somewhere trying to sabotage your plans. Right? So, brothers and sisters, you don't want to miss out on what the coach and I are doing. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. Can't you see we're living in some very epic times? That means the environment is conducive for those things. So you take advantage of it. Go to themoneygamebook.com today. After this show, get on that list. Get on that list. We need 11 more people to get on that list. And then we're going to schedule, the coach and I, Courage Coach and I, going to schedule the private, elusive, exclusive Zoom. It's not going to be recorded. Oh, no, it's sifting time now, right? If you got something more important to do, God knew that before any of all of this developing. You got on the list and figured out that you had something more. If something is more important to do, you should do it. And if it's God's will, you'll have another opportunity. But it's about sacrifice, brothers and sisters. Freedom is about sacrifice. How much, how long, and how willing are you to sacrifice for something much, 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 much bigger than yourself? Much bigger than yourself. All right? So go to themoneygamebook.com. Get your 2 free gifts. Page 2, get the book so you can start reading it. So God willing, within the next whatever month or so or whatever, we'll have that private Zoom. And it's only going to go out to folks on this list. Only going to go out to folks on this list. So we can talk. And the coach and I can direct you. Right? If it's appropriate for you to take the next step with us, we're going to recommend that. But if it's not, we're going to recommend something else for you. Okay, brothers and sisters, seems like you need to go in this direction. Get a little bit more information. And then come back. But those that's ready and poised and ready, locked and loaded, all right, here's your next step with us so we can take this thing to the ultimate destination. And what's the ultimate destination? So Black people can win and dominate at the money game. Brothers and sisters, we're going to take a quick break. I see our Courage Coach is here. I'm going to come back for this break, and we're going to come back for part 2 of this show. We're happy that we're back. Last week, let me just say this real quick before we take our break. Last week, we put up one of our pre-recorded shows, and hopefully you watched that, enjoyed it. If not, go back and look at it again. It talks about Black Wall Street and that kind of thing, but not from a historical, but from a mindset perspective. Everything is from a mindset perspective when I'm talking, we're talking about this money thing. But anyway, so we were celebrating last week the Holy Day of Atonement, the 29th anniversary of the Million Man March. So we were in celebration, and pray to Allah that you were in celebration of that weekend last weekend. So we didn't want you to, because everybody may not, be in the Nation of Islam and may not, be, participate like that. So we don't want to deprive them. So I put up a show. I put up one of my previous shows that I did some years ago talking about this money thing. So we're back now. We're excited. We're back live. I'm going to take a break. Go to that website during this break, put in your name, hit share, hit on YouTube, hit what? Subscribe, notification. That way, anytime I go live, because Coach and I might just do a pop-up on my personal YouTube page. Just a pop-up, like Kendrick Lamar say, right? Sometimes you just got to pop up and show them Negroes. All right, brothers and sisters? So we'll be back. Stay tuned. All right, brothers and sisters, we are back. We are back. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to the show, The Money Game, so Black people can win and dominate. If this is your first time here, brothers and sisters, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. We appreciate your time, your attention, right? That's the most important thing that you can give somebody is your time and your attention. And if it's not your first time and you're coming back, then definitely welcome, welcome, welcome back. And if you come this far, then you should have already subscribed during the break, should already hit the notification bell, right? And you should already have in your mind that you're going to give, or you have given already, to this platform, Closing the Gap broadcast. You see it there on your screen, brothers and sisters. You have to release the very thing that you want. You want more money, you got to release it. Release it with the right spirit, with the right mindset. Sow the seed in the proper soil. Mm-hmm. You can have the right seed, but you put it in between a crack and a rock, it might grow, but that's not the place it's supposed to be, right? So you definitely want to make sure you give to them, and you definitely want to make sure you give to us. You see it right down there on the bottom of your screen. The two places, investments, the two places, the two platforms that you should sow your seed into these soils. Because the more you give, the more you get. Right? The more you give, the more you get. So, brothers and sisters, go ahead and donate, and we'll thank you in advance for giving. All right. So we have with us our brother. He was traveling. He texted me, said, if I can get off the plane, I'll be there. I know this brother, man. I know this brother. Should be back in the day when we were doing a Black Wealth Empowerment, boy, we be in somewhere else on the show. Let us bring our brother on to talk about this freedom, this financial freedom, this freedom, so we can get our mind right. Courage Coach, welcome to the program,
brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace, everybody. Welcome to the Money Game, where Black people win and dominate. I am your Courage Coach, and I just got off the plane. I was in the Pacific Northwest. Everybody, and up in Washington State, and all in Spokane, and Tacoma, and Seattle, and all the surrounding areas, on the lakes, and on the ocean, and just all in the mountains. And it was a wonderful time, beautiful time. And inshallah, I'm going back next week, I believe. Just kind of get out there and just enjoy more of it and spend more time up before it starts snowing out that way. It's a beautiful time of year. All the leaves are falling, and it's a great time. But brother, I'll tell you, I was racing to get back, flights and, travel and all that stuff, because I wanted to be here for you all who watch the broadcast. One thing you all will hear us say as we go through this journey, those of you who qualify for the coaching and the mentoring and all those things, you hear about not making excuses, right? Being excuse free. Now, there are reasons for things that, to no fault of your own, no control of your own, things will happen in life. That's just the dynamics and the mathematics of life. But this is an excuse-free zone. We operate in an excuse-free zone. The way to win and dominate in the money game is really living in an excuse-free zone in your personal life. Now, when I got here, I said, okay, I'm at one of my brother's house right now, getting time to spend time with him and his family. And so I said, I got to get on this broadcast. So I got plugged in and everything. And when you talked about freedom, brother Daryl, that's in my wheelhouse of enjoyment. I love freedom. And I know a lot of times our people and other people and groups across the world and throughout history talked about freedom. Give us free, in the movie, Amistad and freedom. But what does that mean for you? What does that mean to you? Because that will inform how you approach financial freedom. The meaning of words, whether it be actual meanings, your meaning, right? How you understand it, that's where the power is. In the definition, how you might define a word. Not how myself, how Webster or Britannica or this one or that one, they can have definitions, and sometimes they can change. But what are your personal definitions as it relates to the word freedom? What does that mean to you? You got to spend some time with that. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is how do you become financially free? But I'm not going to get into the nuts and bolts of it. I want you to deal with this part right now, just this part. Watch. To be free is to be absent of constriction, right? To be absent of constriction. Not saying you're not disciplined, you're not structured, you're not ordered. I'm not saying that. It's when you're absent of constriction from an outside force or party, even if that force and party is not necessarily outside, but inside. Definitions, preconceptions, phrases and statements somebody said to you in your life, your past, your mama, your daddy, them, my cousin, uncle, somebody said, a teacher might have said something, and you internalize it, and you have a mental constriction, right? You know, a boa constrictor, it squeezes the life out of things. Right now, is the life being squeezed out of your financial destiny? Is your life being squeezed? You feel the squeeze, the financial. People are like, man, it's hard right now. It's hard for everybody. It's hard. If that's your bend of mind, then you believe that and you're living that reality. But when I was up where I was just at, that ain't what they saying. That up in the mountains, acres and trees and beautiful houses overlooking lakes and boats and jet skis and just one of canoes and houses got big old windows. Couple of dudes, one dude was a professional baseball player, was spending time over there, and just they're not talking about how hard it is and the struggle, and they're not constricted. No, they don't have financial constrictions. For them, constriction is, you know what? My investments are down 2 points. That's a goal constriction. But when you move it 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 million, that was relative, I guess. So how do we become financially free in our minds? Here's a great way to start is to, one, define what freedom means to you. And two, here's what I want you to challenge that definition and start to look for areas that manifest constriction in your life, where you say, you know what, I have an unhealthy understanding about money, an unhealthy relationship as it relates to money, and something Brother Daryl dropped on you all and shared with you that you might have missed. Some of you caught it, but some of you missed it. I know you did, because it's a biblical principle. No matter what you call yourself, spiritual, you're Muslim, you're Christian, you're whatever, it don't even matter. It really don't matter. Principles are principles. And if they hold true, they hold true no matter where the principle came from, who said it first. It's irrelevant. You don't have to know who said it. We quote things all the time. You only know who started the quote. It's irrelevant. Just okay, it works. This is a good principle. So watch. The Bible says it like this. As you sow, the same shall you also reap. As you sow, the same shall you also reap. But here's the way the Creator Allah set it up: that you get 10 and 100-fold return for sowing when the reaping comes back. You get a 10, 100 return on your sowing when it's time to reap. So it says, this, as a man sows, the same shall he also reap. That's in one instance in terms of how we interact with people. Whatever you will that men should do to you, do ye also unto them, the book says. But when it comes to financial freedom and wealth and abundance, you have to start sowing good, fertile seeds in people's lives, in business life, by the books you read, the mentors you take on, right? The thoughts you think, the actions you take will yield results. But you gotta know that you gotta sow these seeds. If I want to be free, when it was time for me to decide in my life, I wanted to be financially free, right? I wanted more freedom in my life. The first thing I had to do was I had to change my thinking. I had to say, you know what does freedom look like to me? Because if you can't identify what it looks like, how do you know if you're even there? For those of you that may be members of the Nation of Islam, and even if you're not, this is going to resonate with you. Watch. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that some of my followers will be in the hereafter and won't even know it. Boom. He said they'll be in the hereafter and won't even know it. He said the hereafter for my followers is now. Ouch. You waiting for something? So I said, you know what? I heard these things. He said these things. I'm like, so I could be living in the hereafter right now. I could be living in a place where it's free from bondage and restriction and constriction and confinement and lack and limitation right now. I could actually sit myself in my idea of heaven right now, at once, like right now. Okay, I got to do what the Bible says. I got to renew my mind. I want to be free. So, brothers and sisters, if you really, really, really want to dial into being free, you got to define what freedom looks like. Identify that first. This is what freedom means to me. This is what freedom looks like. One of my friends and mentors said, he defines success as being able to, for him, this is his definition of success. He said, being able to do what I want, when I want, with whom I want, and not have to worry about the cost. He said, that's my definition of success. Yours may be different. You have to have your own definitions for these words and what they mean for you and what it looks like. Then you can gauge how close or far away, and you'll have a more strategic and tactical way of going about accomplishing it. For me, freedom was free from worry, to where I worry about nothing. I have not a care in the world. I'm like, it doesn't matter. I've had it. I lost. I gave it away. I squandered. It doesn't matter. I'm not doing it for the filthy lucre and to show off. I don't want people to look at me. I'm so important. No. I'm past that part of my life. For me, freedom is being able to smile every day when I get up and not feeling the pressure and the worry of having to handle it and take care of it. What if I don't? And for me, I'm like, if it don't get done, it don't get done. I'll do what I can. But I'm not gonna stress, and I'm gonna be happy in the process. He said, what if you lose it all? I'm like, that doesn't affect my happiness. My happiness is not contingent upon other things happening. It's a choice I get to make. That's freedom for me. Freedom was, I know every day that I wake up, I have a choice. That makes me smile because I can choose to throw it all away and go be homeless if that's what I want. And with a smile, it's like, why would you do that? Because that's what I want to do. And that's happiness for me. That may not be happiness for you. Maybe getting a multi-million-dollar home may be happiness for you. It may not be for that other person. I just want a little 2-bedroom condo overlooking the little lake. That may be happiness for them. That's freedom. So identify that for yourself. But keep in mind that you will never, and I'll give you my word, I promise you this, you will never, ever, ever accomplish true freedom, true financial freedom, true life freedom, unless you define it and lock into your mind what it means to you and start to rid yourself of anything, any enemy that comes against it. I don't care if it's your own thoughts, something your mama said. My mama said, like I'll tell you this, brother Daryl, and you've heard this because we registered member Nation of Islam, and we've been around a lot of our people, in varying different degrees and social strata and all that stuff. And many times our people will use these cliche terms, assuming all things are true all the time. Ain't none of us got no money, that kind of talk, right? We all struggling. Like, you don't know enough people to say that that's not true. I'm going to tell you that's not true. I'm telling you that's not true. We know what one of us heard, we all heard. Yeah, no, that's not. Some people don't know you heard and they ain't thinking about you and your lack of movement and bad choices. So I know it makes you feel okay that you're in the condition you're in, but part of freedom is getting rid of the erroneous thoughts that make you believe that this is normalized, this is okay, this is all right. We all in it together, so it's okay that I'm in it because we all in. No, and the devil is a lie. We all ain't nothing. That's not true. And most groups don't even think like this. We have this, and I say this loosely, but you seem to have this unique market cornered on we all. And that's never been true in the history of the planet. We tried that 60 trillion years ago about the we all thing. Let's get over it. It's no we all. It's you individually. You got to make the choice. You got to make the decision. You got to take the action. Say, you know what? Let me get some freedom. And then maybe, just maybe, that when you get to a point where you say, I feel free, like me in the life I get to live an amazing life. I do. I've lived an amazing life for the last 20 years. Be able to go where I want to go, when I want to go, and every time I want to go, not worry about how much that costs. It just, I'm freedom. Like for me, I live with a smile on my face. No worries. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. Car went down. Whatever. I can fix it. Don't fix it. Throw it away. Get another. I don't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything to me. Right? Watch this. If you get to the place where you are free, right? You really tapped into your personal freedom, where you're happy, peace, love, joy. The people or lack thereof around you that you really enjoy are good, well-meaning people. Don't you want to get to a point? Wouldn't it be kind of cool though, that you can get to a point where you say, you see some other people, you say, you know what? I went and prepared a place in my mind for you all. I went and prepared a place where I rid myself of all demons and strife and lack and limitation. That where I am, when people see that smile on your face, you say that where I am, you may be also, that you too can be free. See, no matter what you think about a Jay-Z or anybody else, don't get wrapped up in the personal lives of people, because everybody's got, most people, I say everybody, most people got something that you be like, oh no, you know. But here's the thing. Something Jay-Z said that I really enjoyed in one of his songs. It may have come from somebody else, who cares? He said, how can I help the poor if I'm one of them? So I got rich and gave back to me. That's the win-win, right? And he said, that sounds selfish, but in essence, that if I can have this money, start making money, start having it, make some babies, and return, then it equips me to be able to help people, to be able to, when something catastrophic happens, or some people need some legal help or whatever, I can just peel it off, and it don't hurt nothing. It don't, because it's already a system set up by which the money's gonna keep recycling no matter what. I can't spend it fast enough. That where he is, you may be also. Where I am, you may be also. It don't have to be on a big grandiose level. It can be just simple peace in your life. So if you want freedom, don't even think you can talk about financial, because many people, I say many people are money generated. It's all about money. Gonna get money. But we were taught, Brother Daryl, bear witnesses, we learned that money follows service and usefulness. The more useful you are, the more usable talent, skills, gifts, and abilities you have, money will come to you, because there's no other way for it to happen. It has to flow to you because you have what people need. So money is easy to have as long as you are useful, right? If you're useful. So once you get to a point where you say, I'm useful, I'm viable in the marketplace, I have things people need, I know things people want to know, the money will come. So now true freedom sets in, because you say, now I can disseminate this information, what I know, show people the steps I took, right? If they're ready, if they want to go, if they know, if their personal view of freedom lines up with what I've done and where I'm at and what I'm doing, they say, man, I love the way that brother, sister roll, how they live their life. I like just how they moving. I don't want exactly what they want, but I like how the joy in their life. I want that. You want to be free? Let me show you some steps. All right. So wrap it up. Freedom, whether it be financial or otherwise, it starts up here. You want to be free in all areas, because a lot of people have money, but they're not free. There's a lot of rich slaves running around, a lot of them. Brother Dale touched on it, that when the master says jump, they got to jump. I bet you if you do some research and find out that Jay-Z's wife and that white rapper boy is under the same parent label, I bet you go and check it out. Because when they tell them to go, they go. They have to. They don't have a choice. They're not free. They're soldiers in a war. You're not free. They're wealthy but not free. I'm not saying being wealthy means you won't be free, but you got to tie both together. So I, like Brother Dale said, I'd rather have less and be free than have more and have a slave master and be in bondage. All right. So freedom starts within. It starts in your mind. And the first step, you got to define what that is and what that looks like for you as an individual. You ain't got to worry about the money, because when you get it, don't have it, you'll never be free until you can unlock this and free your mind, and your behind will follow. I am your courage coach. Cultivate the courage to roar. And let's play the money game so we can win and dominate. I'm having fun, y'all.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Courage Coach. Appreciate you. Brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, this program is not like any other program that you've ever experienced before, even if it just boils down to the uniqueness of what Brother Assad, the Courage Coach, and I bring. That's what makes it special for you. That's why you get the concept. See, that's why they take the Model T car and look how far it's gotten. But it's still the basic structure of an automobile. But everybody, Mercedes add their little spin to it. But they never deviate from the basis of the functionality and what makes the car run. They start adding stuff to it, but they never get away from it. You need an axle, you need whatever they need. Braking systems, not the same exact, a system, accelerating system, an engine system, a fuel system. See, this is what we have this, because if not, you'll get trapped and you become a slave to people. You become a slave to something specific instead of realizing I need to get the principles. I need to get what I need so I can shape this financial freedom a goal for me. Because it costs a lot of money. Coach, he's a coach now. He's your courage coach now. If you want to sit down and spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours doing the work for you, it's always going to cost you more if someone does it for you than with you than by yourself. So you want the best of both worlds. You want somebody to help you to do it with you until you don't need them anymore. Then you do it on your own, right? So, brothers and sisters, we are excited for those that are serious to take it to the next level. What the Courage Coach and I are going to do, you see it, I put it on the screen, the Money Game Live Coaching Program, right? You're going to be part of a test group to test a group that we're going to test this coaching program with. And then if it's successful, it reached the objectives that we want, then we'll release it on a larger scale. But the coach and I are going to personally coach you live. And we're very protective of our time now. So we're not looking for quantity, we're looking for quality of individuals. So if you should know, and if you don't know, let me just tell you, every highly successful person has and had a coach. You take NFL, NBA, the best of the best, the best of the best, they have coaches. So you know what you call that, brother and sister? You call that a hint. See, most times coaching is more expensive than what most of us are willing to pay. Because if you don't have it, you can get it if you're willing to get it. See, so it's not so much I don't have it, it's your willingness or lack thereof to do what's necessary within moral confines to get what you need to get what you need to get. So with the Courage Coach and I said, okay, what we'll do, since we know that coaching programs are priced out of most of Black people's money mindset. So we'll come down a little closer. Now, we're not going to come down to where you are, because that'll be free for everybody. Right? So you got to stretch. You got to grow. You got to sacrifice. The student always put more into the learning process than the teacher. Teacher already know what you're trying to learn. So what they look like working harder for you to learn a lesson than for you than you. See, these are the concepts that the Courage Coach and I, we're going to infuse in what we're going to teach you. See, so this coaching program, brothers and sisters, get it, bit.ly/MT TMG Coach. Go there, sign up. We're gonna have an introduction Zoom, right? To tell exactly what it is, see if it fits for you. We're gonna have an application process. If it's just one person, we'll get success out of that because they're the right one person. Right? We're going to have a limit of how many people we can coach because we have our time and we're very valuable of our time. And our time is worth far more than what anybody can pay us. So don't get it twisted. If when you really know the value of your time, then that'll help you determine that you want to be financially free. Because whatever they paying you, it ain't enough, especially if you're trading time for money. If you play in that game, it's not mathematical how the company going to stay in business. You trading time for money, ain't going to pay you what they make. See, so if you're going to sign up for the game, but it says know the game that you're playing and know your role in the game. The rook not mad because he the rook. The pawn ain't mad because he the pawn. The knight ain't mad because he the knight. We sign up to trade time for money, then we get mad about it. You signed up. So we're going to help you break these things, break this curse that we got. And don't worry, brothers. Says I know, I understand. Coach and I were there 20, 30 years ago. He ain't talked about money. He ain't talked about investments. If you knew how to guide yourself, you'd be there already. You wouldn't even be on this call. You'll get on and say, okay, I'm good. That's below where I'm at. That's for those that's at an certain entry level, right? But I'm above that, so I need to find something that up here.
Brother Daryl, can I say one thing,
sir.
brother?
Yes, sir, Coach.
And you all, brother, he giving you so many jewels, y'all. I mean, some of it may sting, and thankfully it does. Some of it may sting a little. Some of them be like, man, I don't think I like that, brother. That's the kind of coach and mentor you want. You want the kind of coach and mentor you say, I don't think I like him. That's good. There we go. That's what we need. We need you to not like him. We need you to respect him. Right? You want to respect your coach and mentor. He said, well, he seems so edgy and this and that. So that's okay. But here's something, brother, he blessed you all with something, an idea that, you gotta get this if you really want this. You gotta be okay with pain and being uncomfortable, right? You gotta be okay with that. You gotta be okay with being poked and prodded towards getting to where you want to go. Because here's something I learned, and Brother Daryl will bear with us because he's heard this before too. It's helped us tremendously. Some people don't know that they don't know. They say ignorant bliss. There ain't no bliss. Most people I know that ignorant are miserable. And so you most likely you don't know that you don't know. And it's easy to dismiss things when you don't know that you don't know. Some people don't know they're in absolute pain because they've gotten comfortable and used to the pain. So the first step in this, and what Brother Dale was just sharing with you, is to just acknowledge that, you know what? I don't know everything. I know I'm not where I want to be with my life. So let me jump in. Let me dive in. Let me immerse myself in this. I've immersed myself in all other things, and this stuff hasn't worked before. It hasn't done nothing for me. Now I got brothers that are willing to take my hand and walk me down this path, point me in the right direction, poke and prod me and say, no, get back over here. Get back over here. Don't go too far over there. That's not for you right now. And give me some parameters by which I can get to a place that where they are with these smiles and this directness and all these years of information and application and wealth and all this stuff that I could be there too. So yeah.
Look like you kind of choppy, Coach. Kind of choppy.
Oh, go ahead. Take it right back then. Go ahead and take it right back.
You're back.
Okay. Yeah. So if you are at a place where you're unsure, take action. If you don't understand, good, that's a perfect spot. Take action. So Brother Daryl's going to continue to show you how to take action, but you're actually in the right place. Take action. You don't know. I didn't know, but you know what I did, Brother Daryl? I took a leap. I flew to Dallas on a whim with somebody I hadn't seen in 20 years. And I took a leap. I was like, let me just get in there. I don't know what I'm going to learn, do. I don't know what this is about, but I took a leap and I immersed myself. And 2 years later or 3 years later, I was traveling the world as a speaker. Oh yeah. And never look back. My life is amazing. All because I took a leap. And I just kept taking leaps. Met a mentor. I might take a leap. Oh, I'm in. Let's go. Let's see. Learn, teach me something. Tell me stuff. Point me in the right direction. So you all follow this. Follow this. Brother Daryl's going to give you the step by steps on how to get you in a position to where you can get to a point to where you start to qualify for a position awaiting you in terms of coaching and mentoring. He's going to give you these steps. Take the leap. It's not about us, because we could be selfish and 10% it on down. Brother Daryl, stop playing. We could just be flossing and fleeking and gloating around and ha and all in your face. And we'd be fine still. We'd be fine. But that's not our sentiment. That's not our heart condition. We want you to have this experience too. We want you to be free, because the more free friends we got, the more fun we can have when we rolling around, going places, doing stuff, and having amazing experiences. I want more free friends. So, brother, I'm gonna swing it back to you, but you get me turned up, brother.
Yeah, brother. So let me tell you, when Coach and I was doing the Black Wealth Empowerment, we'll go 2 hours, 2.5 hours. We had Sister Brandy. I mean, we had guests come on. Oh man, it was a beautiful thing. Right? But that was for then. This is for now. You're here now. Right? The coach is going to help you on these private calls now. On these private calls, he's going to help you to want to give up who you are, keep the best of who you are, be happy to release the rest of that so you can replace with more of the good that you have, need, and want. That's really what it's about. See, this world got you caught up in this money thing, but that's money is always the byproduct of something else. You don't start with money. You start with something else first. It materializes into financial reality. You have the end in mind, of course, but you got to understand that you got to become, do, and have. You got to do something. You have to become the embodiment of someone that is worthy of whatever the financial level that you're trying to reach. Because the universe is gonna say, why should I give? Why should I give you $100,000 a year in salary for what? Because I want it. Everybody have everything that they wanted. If it just required, I want it. God not gonna give it to you just because you want it. The universe, God, or whatever, right? No. You got to convince God. You got to convince the universe. How do you convince them? By submitting to the ways and principles that he has established in the universe for things to manifest and materialize in reality. See, that's private stuff there, Coach. We giving them too much, brother, Coach. We giving y'all too much, brothers and sisters. You have to start off by walking on faith. It starts with faith. If you have no faith, you'll make no progress. You have no faith, you'll never take the first, the second, the third step. You got to take as many steps in faith and stay until faith turns into knowing. Come on, Coach. I'm gonna let you wrap it up, man. Cause see, I get you started. I have to leave.
Come on. knowing, and we hear all these words and phrases. We in church, we in mosque, we in synagogue, whatever. That faith without works is dead, right? You gotta convert faith into actual knowingness, right? To where you say, I know X, Y, Z. I know. I don't just believe. I ain't gonna have faith in it that it's gonna happen. That could be hopeful. But when you get to a knowingness place, there are steps you can take to, I know it's gonna be all right. I know that. You know how Mama and them back in the day, Mama and them had that unwavering faith, but they had a knowingness. They called it faith, but there was a knowingness. Mama would say, and mother would say, when stuff get rough, and she's like, boy, don't let that worry you, and this too shall pass. It was a firmness. She knew it like, well, it may work out. No. Because she had passed from faith and belief into a knowingness that I know that I can do all things. I ain't even finish it up because y'all know what there is. I can do all things. So we can accomplish all that we desire, brothers and sisters. There are steps, techniques, strategies, and procedures, systems systems that when you put the system in place, it doesn't matter who the person is, right? Whether it's BMW, Toyota, Buick, Chrysler, it don't matter who the manufacturer is. When the system is in place and it's a working, Mr. Ford shows it's a working system. You said, well, I can tweak it to my unique personality. Absolutely. Just keep the system. So I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you this, Brother Daryl. People right now are really hyped up about our brother Myron Golden, right? Myron, right? Brother Myron.
Man, I've been watching him lately. He's been on it.
Man, Myron been tearing it up. And most people think he just came up. Like, yo, Myron, he's a new guy. No. Myron was there when I first started. Like 15, 20 years ago, he was doing this thing. He was the guy then. But he had a program he sold that I bought. He was offering in the seller. He was offering it. It's called SOS, the Success Operating System. I bought that program. I immersed myself in that program. He said the system is the solution. So I took in bits and pieces and used it with my unique personality. Brother Daryl's taking these trainings and things we've learned with all these people and synthesized and says, okay, I know the system now, and we can start to share with people the system. So we want you all to come on board, get with us, tap in, bring a friend or two or three. So you have friends when you travel in the world and you on the boat and you flying the planes and you're first classing it to your events of Savior's Days and conferences and all that. You just in the lounges at the airports and all those things. Don't you want friends? Some people with you, your crew, your team, your homies. Come on, you don't want to be by yourself. So bring people in, invite people to the stream, and get tapped in. When Brother Daryl gives you all the links and tap in. Remember, this is not, but we're doing well. I'm doing well. Brother Daryl doing well. He's always been doing well. He's always helped me do well. So I'm thankful for his brotherhood all these years. He always like, brother. I'm like, dude, Brother Daryl say go, I'm in. All right, whatever, what we doing? I'm in. Because yes, I trust him. And he's been trustworthy with me in all ways. So, brothers and sisters, come on, now's your time. The money game is real. We can win and dominate. There are those of us who are doing it, and we want you to join us on this journey. So the more of us that do it, then we can have this black community, these black towns, black and richer people states, and then move it to a black country, a black nation. That's the key. Come on board. All right, Brother Daryl, I'll give it to you. Wrap it up.
So brothers and sisters, go ahead and go to that website there at the bottom. Do yourself a favor. Right? Now is the time. Today is the day. Right? And there's levels to this thing. It's like steps in a ladder. Every step, then it's the next one after that. Yep, then it's the next one after that until you get to the top. And the higher you want to go up, the more steps you got. So hurry up and get to stepping. Hurry up and get to stepping. So, brothers and sisters, on these private calls, man, on these private things, the coach and I go into detail. Will be much more transparent because, you need to hear more of our story, right? But like I said, we're not braggadocious. We don't want to sound like others that get out here and, I'm the best seller and I ain't got, I understand social proof is real, and we'll put that. We'll get that. Offer group coaching. Yes, sir. Faceless Treasure want to know, brother coach, do you offer group coaching? Yes. You go to that website, you get on the list and put your name in there and put somewhere in there, Faceless Treasures will know who you are. But yes, brothers and sisters. So that's the reality of it. We have to stop being spectators, man. You're right. It's better if you're going to be a spectator, then be a spectator of sports, right? If you're gonna be, and keep that to sport. Keep that to sports. But when it comes to your life and your aspirations, that's the wrong place to be a spectator, bro. I mean, you doing yourself and your family and your children. If you got children, your children's children a disservice. If you have aspirations, and the only reason why you don't have aspirations because they died, somebody killed them. a long time ago. But every child is born with aspirations. If not, they'll never learn how to walk. They'll never learn how to walk. All right, brothers and sisters. So we are back. We took off last week celebrating the Holy Day of Atonement. We're back. This is episode number 10. We're here on the second and fourth Sunday of the month, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. But if you're on the list, you'll hear from us in between time, in the meantime, in between time. Right? And once we get to a certain level, or Curry Coach and I, you know what I'm saying, we're very spiritual and tapped in. The spirit might hit him, and he'll call me and say, hey, brother D, this, you know, woo, 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 woo. And the spirit hit me, and we'll be in agreement, and then that'll just be what it is. Sometimes you gotta, you know, gather up the horses and say, we're gonna run with this. We can't wait for nobody else. We've been hearing the final call from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for 30 some odd years. And sooner or later, that final call is going to come to an end, brothers and sisters. Those of us who understand that, if we understand that, our actions will reflect that. If we don't understand that, our actions will reflect that. That's why the Courage Coach are here. He and I are here. Not that we're looking for something to do. Not that we're looking for something to do. We just know the time, and we know that we got to try to gather the few we can before it comes a day that we won't have the opportunity to gather out anymore. We'll just have to execute with what we have. Right? And you never really know when that time is. You just got to stay ready. See, so when people talk about money, like I say, brothers and sisters, we need a special kind of message when it comes to this. We need a message that is woven in our sojourner, not just in the history of our sojourner, but how we take that and use that as fuel to push us, to pull us, to catapult us to the level that we need to go. That's what this is about. This is not a book. This is not a show. With your help, this would be a movement. So that being said, hit this link. All right. Join. Hit this link. Get your free gift. And so you can come and be a part of this. Because everybody has a clock and it's ticking. All right, brothers and sisters. So that being said, as we used to say on our other show, Black Wealth Empowerment, right? We'll see you at the top, not from the top, because you're going to be up there with us. Because you, your family, and most importantly, our Black community deserves your and my very best. All right, the second and fourth Tuesday, 6 o'clock. We'll see you. Peace.
Peace.